6 rookies who could struggle in this upcoming season. Let's talk about it. We already know one of them. It's not, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out one of these names on this list. But starting off right away is Kelvin Banks Jr. Now, I think in general the Saints are going to really, really stumble. They're not going to be a good team this year. And because they're not going to be a good team this year, I think their offensive line play will look bad. And it wouldn't surprise me in any way if Kelvin Banks Jr. doesn't look good, because you have a lot of young quarterbacks. You got Tyler Schrow, which I think somebody told me how to say his name. I believe I'm butchering it. Spencer Rattler, Jake Hayner, and Hunter Deckers. Okay, so you have all young quarterbacks. Well, the problem with young quarterbacks is they don't want to make mistakes. So they're going to hold on to the ball way, way, way too long to not throw interceptions. The problem when you do that is for your offensive line, you're going to eventually give someone up. You're going to eventually let someone in and get to the quarterback if your quarterback's holding it on too long. So that's not really a fault of the offensive lineman. It's more of a fault of the quarterback just refusing to throw the ball. That's what we're going to see this year a lot by the Saints. So by metrics, I think the Saints offensive line could be a lot worse than they actually are because of the young rookie quarterback play. And also, I don't think very high rookie quarterback play, I'll say. So Kelvin Banks Jr., will he look bad? Potentially. But it's going to be because of the fact the rest of the team is simply not good. And even if you put him on a really good team, I think he would look a lot better, if that makes sense. So it's just an unfortunate event that, hey, listen, you go 9th overall, you're going to a bad team most likely. It is what it is. Number 2, Colston Loveland. Now, Colston Loveland's an interesting one. He had an ACL tear. He also had a shoulder tear, and I think they're probably going to talk right here. So, Loveland suffered an AC joint separation during the 2024 campaign. This was in college. He missed 2 games, but he did play through injury for a period. Once the season ended, right, so now we're getting to the draft time, he needed to get surgery to repair a torn labrum in his shoulder and reconstruct the AC joint capsule. So that's definitely going to be interesting. Now, he is reported ready to go by training camp, so it should be fine, right? It should be fine by training camp. And even if there's setbacks, should be good to go by the season. Now, the reason why I don't really think this is that big of a deal, and I also would say I think he's going to have a good season, is because the Bears will finally have a capable offense under Ben Johnson that they didn't have under Eberflus. So I think they're going to look a lot better. I think Caleb Williams will look a lot better another year in the NFL. And if he struggles in any way, young quarterbacks, they love to do a couple things. If they start struggling and the offense gets away from them, they'll either check it down to their tight end. A lot of times there's tight ends because usually it's like safety valves and it's more comfortable for a young quarterback. Or they'll look for a veteran wide receiver. DJ Moore could be that guy. Or number 3, they're checking down to the running back a lot. So if that's the case, Cole Kmet and Colston Loveland should be the beneficiary if Caleb Williams does struggle. Or if the offense under Ben Johnson is a little bit too much for them to handle, they might go ahead and kind of dumb it down a little bit and have the check down quick options for him, which I'm expecting Colston Loveland, as long as he stays healthy, should be fine and okay with Cole Kmet. I'm not expecting any setbacks there. Now, again, if he has any injury setbacks, that's a completely different story. But from a player perspective, I think Colston Loveland's going to be a really great tight end. And I think he's in the correct system for it. So, I think he should be fine. Number 3 is Mykel Williams. So, the guy who's going to be on the other side of Nick Bosa, which is going to be quite interesting. Now, he did actually suffer an injury in 2025 while he was a part of Georgia. So I think week 1 he got injured. But since then, I think he should be good. He might have had like a little bit of a setback injury in OTAs in minicamp. But outside of that, it seems like everyone in the 49ers defensive line around him is getting hurt. There was a huge reason why there was reports that the 49ers might want to trade for Trey Hendrickson was because of all their injuries on the defensive line. And then kind of going down the list here, entering the last season, Williams was dark horse candidate to emerge as the number 1 pick, as another former Bulldog in Trayvon Walker did 3 years ago. He never quite reached the level, with the 49ers eventually selecting him with the 11th overall pick. To be fair, Williams dealt with a high ankle sprain when he suffered in Georgia's first game in the 2025 campaign. Yeah, so he did have an injury first game, but that obviously should be fine, should be ready to go. I don't think he's going to look bad. I mean, this is the guy that I was actually okay with us selecting at pick 17 if he was available, because he does have a high motor, and I think he can really get after the quarterback. So I disagree with Bleacher Report. I usually do. But I think Mykel should be absolutely fine, and I wouldn't have mind if he was on our team. Kenneth Grant. So he has an upfield battle as this year's 13th overall pick. He was a nose tackle by trade, and most won't appreciate his primary job of taking up space and keeping his teammates clean so they can make plays. At the same time, a nose tackle drafted that high in the process better be the next Dexter Lawrence or Lodi Nada. So high expectations. Will it work out? That's a good question. It's another guy I wouldn't have mind if we took as well. But, for our system and how we run our defense, it would have been amazing to have him. We end up getting TJ Slayton. Well, we got TJ Slayton before the draft. But TJ Slayton is, in my opinion, kind of that guy. All right, so number 5, Shemar Baby Stewart. Oh, the man of the hour. Shemar has all the potential in the world to become an elite edge defender for the Cincinnati Bengals. First, he needs to agree to a contract. Second, he has a significant development to do before reaching that point. Not only that, he needs to actually get some reps, because if he tries to go from the NFL, from college to the NFL without doing any OTAs, any mini camp, any training camp, any preseason, well, we're going to see this guy fall flat on his butt and potentially get injured. Obviously, the initial sticking point is that the Bengals are agreeing to a contract with the 17th overall pick. Two sides remain at an impasse based on certain language the organization insists should be part of the deal. Which, again, the 16th and 19th overall pick both have the same contract language. The NFL hasn't seen an extended rookie holdout in some time. In Stewart's case, some type of appeasement is necessary after a rookie left mandatory minicamp. I mean, he left, but he didn't participate at all when he was there. In my case, I'm 100% right. Stewart told reporters, I'm not asking for nothing that hasn't been done before, but in the team's case, y'all just want to win arguments instead of winning more games, in my opinion. Which, again, publicly bashing the team does not look good. As a result, the first round missed valuable reps throughout the offseason. He didn't participate in any team activities. To make matters worse, the Texas A&M prospect is already viewed as a work in progress who needs time to develop once he's on the field and participating. His movement skills are worth working with, Holder wrote, but his pass rush arsenal is currently limited to a poor hand use. Also, he has a subpar bend due to some tightness in his lower body, making it difficult for him to corner the top of the rush and take efficient pass to the quarterback. Considering the Bengals are also in a contract standoff with veteran defensive end Trey Hendrickson, who could ultimately result in a trade, Stewart must be thrust into a spotlight far sooner than the level of play is capable of. Yeah, that's what happens when you take a project, boys. That is what happens when you take a project. When you take someone who's a project, you're going to get a project back. Yeah, if it works, you look like a genius. If it doesn't work, you look like Zach Taylor. Okay, I'm just kidding, Zach. I love Zach. I'm just kidding. Maxwell, Harrison, Buffalo Bills. Yeah, we'll see. Cornerback. Tell me down below your thoughts. I'm sorry, Zach Taylor. I did not mean to take that much of a bash at you, man. I love you, dude. Get promoted. Get a real coach in here. Beside the point, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.